Alright, welcome. This is Mildly Fatigued with Adam and Caleb. We're live. Say hello, Adam.
Hello.
We're in an undisclosed podcast location. Oh, you need to get those reflectors on the back. I don't know. I thought you want maximum shade.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Huh? No, these are already in here.
Oh, so he knew it didn't work?
Yeah.
So yeah, what's up? Didn't you have something in your mind? I don't know if you want to talk about that right away.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it right away.
Okay. Well, I'll update the viewers. How's van life?
Pretty good. Just got the shading almost sorted out, I guess. I'm working on the solar option.
What do you mean?
I found a bundle for like $300.
How much power output?
The thing said enough for like a laptop and a small refrigerator.
Dang. Fucking piece of shit.
Huh?
Fucking piece of shit. So you're just working on that? That sounds nice.
Yeah. That's where most of my funds are going to right now. Just
Shaving?
for the van and drugs and food.
Well, that's all you have to pay for, really. And gas.
Yeah, I could pay less for food though.
So I guess first thing we can talk about is, did you hear about the Muller Report?
Yeah, it's like fucking 300 pages or something like that.
Okay, well, all you have to know is that the Mueller report. So right when they realized Trump was about to become president, like they're like, oh shit, there's a chance that Trump might win. When the tapes, the emails came out with Hillary, you know what I mean? So people were like, oh shit, I don't know how I feel about Hillary. And then that's when Trump's approval rating went up to like 56% or something like that. And so that's probably why he won the election, because the emails came out. But during that time, they're like, there's no way he's going to win. There's no way he's going to win. And when he won, right away, they said he's colluding with Russia. So for 3 years, they used like $20 million of American resources, the FBI, right? Mm-hmm. To do a Russian collusion report of Donald Trump. They spent 3 years. They just released it last Saturday, and it said that not only did he not collude with Russia, and no one in the association colludes with Russia, that in fact Russia reached out to him to collude, and he denied it. You know what I mean? And so now all these, I'm not saying this happened every single day, but at its peak, there was 33 news articles about Donald Trump colluding with Russia a day at its peak. So what I'm saying is we look stupid. And it's like literally, what are you looking for?
See a suction cup down there?
What?
A suction cup?
Yeah, I saw one I have.
I just picked that one up.
Oh, no.
Should be a second one. Is it under you? Is it under you?
Mm-hmm.
There's your pencil.
So yeah. Do you know who Nancy Pelosi is?
Somewhat, yeah.
So if the president dies and the vice president dies, she's the president. She's third in line. She was even saying
representatives or something.
Yeah, she's the house. She was the one who said. Even her, she was saying that Trump was colluding with Russia. You know what I mean? What?
Just
how cheap it is?
Yeah.
Look at it on the bottom.
What?
On the other side, clean it with your shirt and then lick it. And sometimes it suction cups more. Just so you're not licking dirt, you know what I mean? One good lick. Throw that bitch on. And let her stick. So yes, she said that. The lead or the head of the FBI said that, internal investigation or something like that, said that he's colluding with Russia. All these people in high positions said it. All these celebrities said it. All these news people said it, and they look stupid. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that? And on top of that, sorry, not even that at the end of the, like, he sent out like a small one, like a 2-page one, just saying, okay, this is what we discovered, and we don't think Trump did anything. And that's it. That's what came out Saturday. And on Sunday, that was like the whole 30-page thing that you're talking about came out. And so yeah, on that first 2-page one, it said there might be a possibility in which he's doing it, but we didn't find anything. Basically what they said. And everyone's just running off of that. You know what I mean? All the news and shit like that. Or like the FBI said maybe there's a chance that he's colluding with Russia and blah, blah, blah. And they did arrest people for colluding with Russia, but they had no affiliation with Trump or any of Trump's affiliates. Does that make sense? They were just affiliation of affiliation.
Who were the people that got arrested?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, Roger Stone isn't with them?
I don't know who that is.
Roger Stone's the only one I know of that got arrested.
Well, yeah, they're talking about some people who got arrested, but it had nothing to do with Trump. So the whole thing is Trump is colluding with Russia. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now there is no evidence. You know what I mean? Okay.
I put the sound backwards.
On top of that, do you know who Jesse Smollett is?
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy who faked the Trump, the hate crime in which 2 MAGA people beat him up, and he's a celebrity. Okay, well, he faked a hate crime in which 2 people wearing MAGA hats came and beat him up. Turns out he did it to keep his job. He's a celebrity, and he works on a shitty TV show that he's about to lose his job from. It smelled like hoax from the beginning. No one believed it. Then the FBI searched it. They realized, okay, it is a hoax, right? And all the information says, okay, this is a hoax. The 2 people who did it confessed to doing it. There's checks and stuff like that in which he paid them. Okay, there's calls and texts in which he told them to do it. You know what I mean? This is what we're gonna do. This is when we're gonna do it. You know what I mean? And they just came out like just literally yesterday, the day ago, that. He's acquitted of all charges, and he has nothing put against him. You know what I mean? That's horseshit. That someone can make up fabricate a whole hate crime against not Trump, but basically half of America, and then for political gain, technically, and then he gets away with it completely. You know what I mean? And no one says anything, but there's a chance that Trump's colluding with Russia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is unfair.
You call it? I remember. I think the only thing I've seen on it is the Colbert Report, where they.
Yo. Keep going, yeah.
It is kind of gross. They're like, oh, Trump is not colluding with Russia, and so we'll be the first ones to apologize. And then they brought out some big board with a bunch of shit written on it, and they just crossed out the colluding with Russia thing.
So it's like a half-assed apology.
Yeah.
Like that. Stupid. Yeah, that's what I've written down. How do you feel about that?
About what part?
All that that's going on in politics.
It's not really something I care about.
But seeing as you're an American citizen, and you gotta have an opinion, basically. Like, that's kind of the line. Everyone has an opinion. So what's your opinion?
I think late shows or stuff like The Late Show and what's his name, the black guy? Trevor Noah. I don't like those shows.
Trevor Noah?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
That's another one of the like late night fake news thing.
Oh.
I don't mean like Fox fake news. I mean like
Fox fake news?
I mean, like a fake.
Fox
news
isn't
network.
fake news, that's what I'm saying. But you are?
Well, I'm saying, I'm not using fake news as someone would say, like, against Fox. I'm saying fake news as it's a comedic.
Yeah,
news
yeah,
show.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I don't like most of them. They're very opinionated and they don't seem to cover anything else. Teresa didn't even know that Hillary, wanted to bomb out or put a no-fly zone in Syria.
Yeah.
Like, that's like a direct lead to fucking World War II
Yeah.
or 3.
Yeah.
I try not to have an opinion because I don't do any research.
Well, I'm saying just from the facts alone, were you like, that's stupid that people feel this way?
I mean, it's typical, but I don't exactly like that about the human race, but...
Oh, okay. We're trying to get talking points here.
Yeah. I forget what actually happened that day, but it was a couple days ago when I realized I saw something that like really made me think about vision itself. Like, I remember, like, at one point I told you, like, our eyes are pretty useless compared to some of them. Like, we can see color, but other things can see crazy shit, like the rest of the color spectrum and all that shit. I was driving to work, and I was on, like, 3 hours of sleep, and I was going down El Camino Real, and you know when you get over the 78, and then there's that intersection, and it goes up the hill?
Yeah.
They were doing some road work on the right side.
Of course.
Well, it looked like it was on the right side, but, like, I swear to God, I thought it was on the totally right side. So I got over the left, and when I got up there, it was in the left turn lane. So my depth perception was
like, off.
Just so off, yeah.
Huh? My drink?
Yeah.
Why?
Because if we move the van, then it'll fall over.
Oh. You touched that more than that?
Definitely.
Okay.
It was already kind of leaning.
Oh. You're like eyeballing it the whole time? But yeah. Going to another topic. Don't you think it's weird that dogs, their nose are really good? Because that's like their main perception tool.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Your perception of reality is sniffing.
Yeah.
Like, you know your owner not because of the name, but because of the way they smell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder if they have like a 3D... If they didn't have eyesight, would they have like a 3D map of the area?
No. Maybe, actually. Because they're hella good, right?
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's just like... They see a bunch of blurry shit and the smell sort of context it, or gives it context. Or if it's just like... That sight just sort of helps.
That's what's crazy about just the brain in general, you know what I mean? Our perception of reality is all our senses stitched together, you know what I mean? And I don't even know what our strongest sense is, but only imagine, now thinking of the perception of a dog, and that they're able to see better at night, and then they can smell better, you know what I mean? So imagine that, but they can't sweat, they don't have opposable hands, they don't have that much, I assume they have feeling, but they don't have the type of feeling that we have. But what I'm saying, like, I think it'd be almost physically impossible to even perceive how they interpret reality. Does that make sense? Like, we can try to guess, but really we can't unless we are in the brain of a dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just, like, high talk.
We haven't begun smoking yet, for anyone listening. We're just permanently fried forever. Gotta say, dollar store, gift from heaven.
I was thinking about that. Like really, like, people just kind of live off the Dollar Tree. I mean, there's families in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, families hell live in, or like go there shopping. Yeah, I shop that.
What do you think? Is it the eyes or like feeling that is their strongest sense?
Oh, definitely possible. Like, I think it's it has to do with like touch, I guess, but also like hands. Makes sense?
Well, the hands are like a part; they're not like a sense.
Well, don't you think like the sense of like accuracy is a thing? Like the sense of accuracy?
Sense of accuracy.
Well, because the way I'm kind of going on a whole nother thing. I recently read that there's our main senses, but we have a bunch of senses. The sense of balance and stuff like that. I guess I'm kind of talking about sense of accuracy. Like dogs have to train to learn how to catch. You know what I mean? A lot of human kids know right away that their hand reaches out and grabs keys. You know what I mean? Dogs have to learn to do that. That's what I'm talking about. I thought that would be like greatest like asset. But think about how much stuff we've done because of that. We make little tools, we make art, you know what I mean? We cook food.
I wonder.
We hunt.
When did we turn into like a species that can only cook the food that we eat? We can't just fucking gnaw down on raw shit anymore.
Yeah, our stomachs changed when we were human, or when we were early humans. I don't remember what it was, but I remember we talked about it. But there was a period in which humans would just eat raw meat. You know what I mean? So there's this lineage of humans in which they had their teeth changed because of basically the meat over thousands and thousands of years. So I don't remember, so don't quote me on this, but it was something along the lines, because they noticed the change of teeth. You can eat. I don't know if you want to eat yet.
I want to smoke first.
Because of the change in teeth, it kind of suggests a change in diet. You know what I mean? And the overall how they digest food. So they noticed that the teeth changed, like with the discovery of fire. Makes sense? Yeah.
I was thinking about, I guess I won't say his name out loud on here, but the guy that's getting me the shrooms.
Yeah.
You know what his name is,
Yeah.
right? He had fucking vampire teeth when he was a kid.
Like legit?
Yeah, like they didn't suck blood, but they were like fangs that stuck out like a good millimeter.
He showed you a picture?
He never showed me a picture, but he told me about him. He said it runs in his family, and he had it removed at some point.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have kept that.
I would have too, yeah.
Going on a whole other topic, that Atlantic, it's just a leftist news media. They uploaded a video yesterday that went viral. Two twins, right? Like 30 years old. They have the same condition, right? It's some super type of rare condition. But one's altered just a little bit, in which he's a completely normal human, but he has a crazy facial formality where he looks like the Elephant Man. You know what the Elephant Man is?
Yeah.
It's a David Lynch film. Yeah, he looks legit like that. His twin looks like a normal human, but he has just the other deformality in which he has short-term memory loss. And so they talked about him. He's like, it's interesting when I look at my brother and I see what I could be. You know what I mean? And why was he saying that? Oh, he was just saying he's like I don't know why people tell me like if I could want my face to be normal. He's like, why would I want to be normal? Why would I want to live a normal job? I was just thinking about that. You know what I mean? If I had fangs, it's not normal. It's like, why would you want to get rid of it?
he also he said something about how he used to look when he was in like middle school, and Hayden pulled up like a picture, and Walter was kind of pissed. I've never really understood that. Just a sort of like, don't bring up pictures of me from the past kind of thing. He was like deeply angry about it. I remember he's not the only one that I've seen do it. There was this guy I used to know named Connor online, and he had a video of him doing Dragon Ball Z roleplay on Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
And if we brought it out and like showed people, he'd fucking ban you from the server. That's how pissed off he'd get about it.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's kind of tied to people's childhood. What?
I bought these at Walmart because I thought they were sewing needles. I have no fucking clue what these are.
It's just it's a little wire.
For what?
I don't know, but the whole purpose is to have a wire that can be bent, in which one side is completely flat and one side has a hook. So someone looking for basically a specialty thing in which they're like, I don't even know, but like, it shows right there. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's what it's meant to be, or its purpose really is to be a wire in which we bent to. The circle has a purpose.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not yellow though.
Anyway, let's see.
Do you have something up?
I don't know. You have any weird perception things you've noticed?
Not at all. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Alright. Can I talk about this?
Sure.
Okay, so I was thinking. So, like, New York City is known for, like, business and fashion, sort of, right? Florida is known for its medical industry. The Midwest is known for its industry, car industry, industrial district, right?
Mm.
The South is known for its agriculture, right? What is it? LA is known for the entertainment business, right? Completely. Silicon Valley / San Francisco is known for its tech industry, right? So we have all these industries around the United States, right? In which that's the reason why cities have boomed is because of those industries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what industry could be? Because for example, with LA was nothing. It was just a bunch of rich people who lived there, right? And then in the 1930s, the corporations or the studios didn't like the control in New York City. They couldn't do anything without being controlled by the studios there that used to be theaters, like acting theaters. So they're like, let's move to LA because they have better weather and that's what we need for our cameras. They got a shit ton of land and that's just for sale. Let's just go move there. And so they moved there, and all the big studios that moved there are the big studios now. So like Paramount, Fox, 20th Century, Warner Brothers, like all those, they're all popular because they made the move out here. You know what I mean? So the only reason why LA is so popular is because of the entertainment business. I don't think you understand. Like LA is really kind of, you know what I mean? That's why all the entertainers move there and stuff like that, because that literally funds everything in LA. Like all the people, there's citizens who have other jobs, but those other jobs, you know what I mean? But it's really just the entertainment industry is the reason why people are there.
Mm.
With that being said, what industry could be brought to San Diego that isn't already established? It's not like I can move the tech industry here or move the agricultural industry here. Like, the tech industry was a new thing that just happened in the last 10, 20 years, you know what I mean? in Silicon Valley. So what's something similar to that I can do in San Diego? If you're really thinking about what people consume every day. The reason I'm thinking about this is that I ever think about if I ever become a billionaire or a millionaire, or become a million, and somehow I become one of those guys in which I'm like, I have to work for my money and just, I have to become a billionaire. I don't think I'll ever get to that point, but I have this vision in which I could start an industry, you know what I mean? And just like be a billionaire.
I've thought about just like, if I get into a lot of money, just an obscene amount of money, I would just sink it into pet projects, like making a town work.
Yeah.
Like just building a town at the base of like a Colorado mountain and just fucking putting all my time into making sure that that town booms.
I think that's possible.
I
should just shut down all your dreams.
I'll just put a factory there.
Oh.
That's one way. I don't know. It'd probably have to be like a boom dream or something like that. Like, you go to New York to, I guess, live the New York life, like in the movies. You go to Hollywood to become an actor, or like anything with theater. So it'd have to be some kind of craze that would just funnel people in from all over the country.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say is that like there's established things like New York City and stuff like that. I don't know.
I don't really know enough about San Diego to...
Well, the thing is that the only reason I chose San Diego is because I've grown up here. Here I am. And I'm like, in a future in which I could give back, you know what I mean? And I'm like, how can I just start this huge industry here to basically revive San Diego and just give people a bunch of jobs and shit like that? And that's what I'm just thinking. She texted you 10 times?
3 texts in a row.
Is she trying to get you to come in?
No, she's trying to get me to do shit. Set up an interview with her. Fucking care.com people.
Why do you have your shoes on? Why do you have your shoes on? Relax. You're tense, Adam. Here, what time is it? We're at 28. We can get started.
Hell yeah.
You just gotta relax. Okay, what else? So think about that. You don't have anything about to say about that?
Yeah, don't really. I'd have to know something about San Diego to come up with an industry for it.
But just think about what people consume every single day. What could be made out of money that's already not established everywhere else?
I mean, is there a video game capital?
No, but I think that has to do with tech.
Yeah.
Because I think Steam's located in Silicon Valley. I think EA is located in Silicon Valley.
You can just make it like an esports town.
No, you can't do that. Oh, maybe. Could you do that? I don't know if you could do that. It would have to be because now that the only reason I'm saying that is because ABC just put a video on YouTube and they just did a whole news thing about esports. And they're taking it completely serious, you know what I mean? Talking, and there's CSGO, there's League and stuff like that, and that's the only reason why I saw a clip of it. But it's like a 30-minute segment. And I'm just thinking, like, if it's going to keep growing, in which, because the way I'm thinking about it, like, virtual reality, like, sports and shit like that are going to be a thing. And who's going to have the arenas for that? You know what I mean? So what if I really establish, like, how do you say it? The Coliseum in the United States for esports. Make sense? Like, one big Coliseum in which, like, all over the country, you know how, like, I don't know if you watch esports, but they'll go to Europe to Krakow or whatever and use a certain stadium that's for sports. Make sense? Or they'll come to America. They'll go to either. There's one in LA that they go to. The main one, the Staples Center in LA. There's other places in LA. But what I'm saying, like, what if there's an actual coliseum dedicated to only esports? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that I don't think that's enough to provide thousands of jobs. You know what I mean? I'm talking about giving a bunch of jobs to as many people. Start an industry.
Start a van life tourist industry.
That's not gonna take off.
I don't know, man. That's getting more and more.
Van life.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So, do you want to just? They're both 7 grams. So do you want to split it?
Are they both sativa?
I don't know. That's why. Let's split it. Cause how can we do this? I need a.
Well, you got a tabletop, so.
Oh, there. I guess that'll work. I just need a visual aid to like split it because we don't have a weight. So yeah. So how do you feel about that? Do you think that's actually possible, or is it just a pipe dream?
For what?
To start a whole industry in San Diego and give a lot of people jobs and basically start an empire and become a billionaire, Rockefeller.
Probably. San Diego isn't really all that. Doesn't have an industry already.
No, it's just beach town, rich people. You
Both
know?
of these are 7 grams.
Yeah, this one are just fat nuts. Look at these nuts. Look at it. And none of these are like that.
Oh.
They're good for it. Relax. Just cut that in half and cut this direct. I'll do that. Are you kidding me? There's hair. Just give it your honest guess. I'll believe you. You gotta trust me too. Okay, which one? Doesn't matter? Heck yeah.
Give me a jar from the bag.
We're using valuable podcast time, aren't we? Oh, there. We're just casually trading weed during our podcast.
We're doing it like it's cocaine too. Put it on the table, divide it up.
Gotta get every motherfucking job. Oh, the seed! Are you gonna try to plant it?
I might.
Do it, because you only need to watch for a couple of days. You can put like a little napkin over it or something, you know what I mean? So no one can see it sprout out of the ground.
Where am I gonna put the actual plant though?
You can keep it in here. It'll just smell, you know what I mean? As long as you never move that and then let it grow to like about right here, then you can pull it out and find out what you can do with it. Like sell it to someone or something. But you like at that point you gotta get the fucking rid of it. Oh, I should have just done what you did. You're smart. You split the weeds up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just mixed them.
How much have you really considered the virtual reality thing?
Not that much, because I don't think humans can connect with it. But I think, going on another topic, like, because the way I'm thinking virtual reality is right away is like sex virtual reality.
Well, I'm talking about like everything's a virtual reality simulation. Oh, it's the simulation theory. That's what it is.
Oh yeah. I think it's possible. I think it's extremely possible for 2 reasons. One, because Stephen Hawking talked about it in his book, sort of, in which he said there's either a God that created us or the universe has always existed. And if we're going by that idea, then it makes sense there's a simulation. And he was saying this in the 70s, so it's like it makes sense that there's a simulation. Now that we get closer and closer, we're like, holy fuck, it's easy, you know what I mean? it's like now they just that's just vision and audio. So now they just need to do sense, which I think they're doing. They need to do smell, which I don't know what they're doing, and then what else they need to do.
Well, there's also like the thing that like maybe we don't experience all the emotions we would if we were not in the simulation.
What do you mean?
Like, think about if all you knew was the VR headsets we have right now. You would think that's the
reality.
Limit of...
That's your reality.
It's the limit of, like, the human ability to experience.
Yeah.
So, what if we took off the visor and there's, like, all this new shit?
Yeah. So, let me explain. So, this has... you should probably take a philosophy class. You'd find this interesting. It's called... not Dante's Inferno. That's a whole nother thing. It's called... something Inferno. It's basically that exact same thing. It's the premise is there's men shackled hand and leg down their whole lives, and they're shackled down to their necks, and they're forced to look straight. Okay, and all they see is the shadows from the light behind them. Makes sense? So there's shadows, and they see figures. They can see horses and stuff like that, but it's only shadowy 2D figures, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all they see all their life, and they don't even communicate to each other. Or they do communicate to each other a little bit, but all they know is that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just like you say, in the goggles. Then magically one of them disappeared, or the shackles disappeared. He climbs out of the cave, only to realize there's a whole nother reality. He's blinded by the absolute truth. He goes back, and he can't convince them that, hey, there's this other truth, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there's this whole... But the whole... I guess what the whole premise is trying to get across is that someone can discover something new, but because people are so latched on what their truths are, they can't perceive a new reality. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of the tale. So that kind of goes into what you're talking about. Say, we have our VR goggles on our whole life right now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
How do we know? That's why we don't.
I need to find a good place for this.
What?
Seed.
You're not gonna... Oh. Yeah, you're not. So, just... right there. And just remember.
I won't.
Oh, I have a baggie. The baggie I didn't use.
That'll work.
We're genius.
Oh yeah, how come we couldn't go up to Julian that one day? Or go up to your dad's? Is he up there, or he just doesn't like you up there all the time?
It was snowing there. Oh, he has a shit ton of cameras now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that's kind of the main reason. See, that's all I have written down. The weed influence, yeah.
So you can't think of anything like... I remember when I was a kid, I'd have... It happened multiple times. It would just be like, I'm walking, and then it's almost like someone put a filter over everything. And I can't really put my finger on what changed.
Okay.
You know, like, everything's just sort of greener for whatever reason.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I remember distinctly in Washington something like that happened.
Okay.
And I, like, stood there for, like, 5 minutes, like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's never happened to me.
Yeah, shit like that makes me wonder about simulation theory. And then there's, like, when it's dark out, you can see, like, it looks like a dark pixely screen.
I think that's your vision. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the stimulation, I don't know. And that's such a, like, scary thing, because I think the next, like, 100 years we're gonna find out. You know what I mean? Like, with the progress that we're going at, like, actually, I don't know. Because what I'm thinking about is that, okay, just say we continue at the progress we're going at. Like, in the next 100 years, we're probably going to find out, like, whether or not it's possible to create a simulation. You know, I think that's what we're going to be able to figure out. So, like, what does that mean? Does that, like, really kind of, like, mean, oh shit, there's like, now it's no longer, because I think Elon Musk said it, there's, like, only three real situations. There's, like, reality exists or something like that. We're in a simulation or something else, you know what I mean?
The God thing.
Or something, I don't remember. But do you think in the next 100 years we're going to be like, oh yeah, it's either we're in a simulation or this, you know what I mean? It's going to be more guaranteed, or what do you think?
I don't know if it'll ever really gain, like, a foothold in, like, thought. Because it's such, like, an out there sort of thought, I guess.
What, the simulation?
Yeah. Because, like, simulations didn't exist before very recently.
Well, that thing I told you about is kind of the simulation argument. And he said that, like, that was, like, during, what is it called? During, like, the First Enlightenment or something like that, when people really started questioning stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when he was questioning it. So they've been hella thinking about this for a long time. It's just now we're like, oh shit, this is how they're doing it. You know what I mean?
It's weird to think about how the way we think is totally different from anyone before. Because before it was always just like, you were born a farmer and you're going to farm and you're going to have a children and your success is going to be based on, like, how well your kids do.
Yeah.
And that's, like, your legacy for your entire lifetime.
Yeah.
Now it's like everyone wants to be like a hip rich guy that fucking changes art in some way.
Yeah. Okay, so, not to, like, how do I say this? Okay, that's what I was gonna say. That was the problem with, that's the whole reason that kind of sparked, that was the whole issue with the Industrial Revolution. Does that make sense? I thought we talked about, did we talk about this? I don't know if I talked about this with you. But that was the problem with the Industrial Revolution, is that that's how the old world was. And the Industrial Revolution came, and the world changed just as quickly as the world is changing for us right now. And that's why we're experiencing all this chaos right now. Does it make sense? All this is because the world's changing too quickly. So that's what happened from the old world to the new world. You know what I mean? Is that the world changed so quickly that everyone was kind of going crazy. Why was I saying this? What did you say? Why does everyone
in the way everyone thought and thinks?
Yeah, so I don't think it's not necessarily that everyone thinks. I just think that because we're transitioning, everyone's kind of going crazy, and this type of thought's taking over. Does it make sense?
So you don't think, like, at some point before it was, you think that some point in the past we went through something like this?
We saw it during the Industrial Revolution, like right when they made the printing press. Everything. No, is it the printing press?
Well, I'm talking, like, pre-Industrial Revolution.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. What about it?
Like, after Industrial Revolution, then it sort of gradually turned to what we are now. But I'm talking, like, before that. Before that, it was just, like, you are a farmer.
Yeah.
You farm until you die.
Yeah, so what are you trying to say about that?
Well, nobody really... The idea of becoming, like, a rich, famous guy wasn't really a reality for anyone. Nobody thought about that. Like, at most, they thought about just getting more land.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that kind of goes off the window than what I was saying. I just think that because the time changed, that people's thought and their expectations of what they're supposed to achieve changed. Make sense?
Yeah.
Well,
I wasn't arguing against
No,
that.
yeah. That's what I'm trying to... I guess that's my final thought.
What you call it? Let's see. Anything else? weird to think about how little we have, or how little control we have over who we are. Like, you can't control what your face looks like without sinking a bunch of money in, and in the end you're gonna look like
a weird artificial version.
Yeah.
That's going off another topic. It's weird that any type of surgeries or anything that humans try to do, that we're trying so close to get it to real life, but we can't. Does it make sense? Like, we can't make stuff that's biodegradable that nature does. You know what I mean? We can't make drugs that aren't addictive like nature does. Does it make sense? I can get that. I can ask. But you know what I mean? What was he saying? What was the last thing you said?
I lost it.
Oh yeah, humans were trying to make stuff towards reality, or towards nature, but it's not. It's so, even like, and same with our surgeries. You know what I mean? We try to make people with bigger breasts, but they're bigger. They're super fake. You know what I mean? So it's like that. You know what I mean? It's like they're real. They're real, but they're really fake. You know what I mean?
What you call it? Transgenders kind of make me think about it.
Well, that's kind of the whole argument, is that it's like, I don't have anything against transgenders, but it's like, the argument for people who don't support transgenders, it's like, it's like they mutilate their body, right? What are you looking for? They mutilate their body, and then,
Sweet.
What?
Sweet.
They mutilate their body, and then they're trying to say that now they're a man and now they're a woman as fact. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
When like people like Ben Shapiro, it's like, no, you just kind of cut your body around. You're now a human science project, basically, and every other cell in your body says you're still a man or you're still a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's like when you look at that, or when you look at like a transgender, there's the ones that look like women, and then there's the ones that look like transgenders, and then there's people that are like over 40 and they look like men with dresses on.
Yeah.
Like, the estrogen doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I sort of like adjusted to. I appreciate the look of like a transgender.
What do you
instead
mean?
of thinking them look like girls. 'Cause they don't per se look like girls, but they look like transgenders, and I can sort of appreciate that now.
What do you mean appreciate?
I don't know. Like, it doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me. My only thing is that when you're trying to change fact, that's my only thing. Is that they're saying now they are men, period. Now they are women.
I'm not even talking about like the psychology of it or whatever.
No, not psychology. I'm just talking about legality, scientific, you know what I mean? That's all I'm talking about. I have no issues with transgender people. I have transgender friends. You know what I mean? Like, what do I have to hate against them? Like, that's my thing, is that it's like they're not associating with me, they're not bugging me in any way. Like, what is my issue with them? You know what I mean? So that's my thing, is that if you're gonna be nice to me, I'm gonna be nice to you. You know what I mean? If you want me to call you he, if you're a he, you want me to call you she, I'm gonna call you that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if you're asking me, am I a male or am I a female as fact, I'm gonna try to avoid the question at first. But it's like, if you're asking me honestly, I'm just gonna say, oh, well, I personally think this. But that's not denying them humanity, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just saying, I think scientifically that although you identify this way, that you are still considered. Make sense?
Yeah.
And it's not that I think of them differently. Not them, you know what I mean? It's weird that I'm trying to say them, but it's like, I don't think of anyone differently. I just think of it as a human who has their own tastes, basically. Mm-hmm.
when I really like think about it, like there's no problem, but there is sort of like, if you look at a gay guy in like a fishnet top or tank top with like pink jumper shorts, like that's more gay culture than anything else.
Okay.
Where am I going with this? I don't fucking know.
And that's the thing, is that like the way I perceive it is there's like white culture, there's culture, there's black culture, there's gay culture. It's like the way they dress, the way they act is just their culture. Does it make sense? It's like, it's not who they are as a person, or that's how I perceive it. Does it make sense? I don't see them as, I guess I do see them as weird people in the streets sexualizing themselves, but I see it as like, okay, but it's just their culture. It's like, this is how they act when they're around each other. You know what I mean? And that even if I were to leave, they're gonna do this no matter what. That's my thing. So it's like, why am I have no issue to stop them. Does it make sense? If they're gonna do it no matter what. And so once again, my only thing is that when you're trying to change fact, that's my only thing against transgenders. And kind of going off on another topic.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going on. So like, I've sort of realized that it's hard to get like a girl look when you transition, but I don't know if there's a lot of other people that do this or think like this, but the actual look of like a transgender, I enjoy that aesthetically. Like I enjoy a grunge look or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever looked at my Instagram feed, but I follow just like, I guess, groupings so that I can see just pictures of people dressed like that.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
Sort of transgender girls fits into that somewhere.
Yeah, and I don't know what you're talking about. I think there's some transgender woman who transitioned very well. You know what I mean?
Well, obviously there's some, but you call it like at the end of the day, most of their bone structures are still like men.
Oh yeah, every cell in their body is still a man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they just have a different skin texture and maybe fat distribution. Anything?
You're just talking to trannies, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. They're doing their own thing. I don't know. And it's like, it's not like they fled. Oh, I guess they did fled. You know, I think, okay, so this is kind of going on another topic. I guess the argument is like, oh, they're having to hide and stuff like that. Not hide, but it's like they can only live in California and stuff like that and express themselves. It's like, well, no, I think that. So I think the world has really changed, and that people can't get away with being bigoted like that, even in any state. Period. So I think the only thing that's happened is that everyone has just moved. Does it make sense?
You can get away with just being bigoted in certain places.
But I'm saying like they say a transgender rally in, what's the most southern state? Like Kansas, you know what I mean, or something. I don't know, a super southern state. It's like if they get all the permits and stuff like that, the cops are gonna protect them no matter what. And if they don't, the Supreme Court will step in and be like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" And then if people try to be bigoted nowadays, the cops are just gonna do their job and stop any type of violence, period. I'm saying that I think if they do it like that, they can get away with living. But I'm saying that because of our past, all these gay, LGBT community have just moved to the West Coast, period. And that's just where they live. Does it make sense? And that's just where you go to live as an LGBT. That's just where the culture and community located. Make sense?
Like, I remember when we were in Florida, I remember someone... Actually, I've met a decent amount of people that are bigoted. It's nothing crazy, though. It's just, like, everyday shit. Like, people whispering about interracial couples or, what you call it, confessing to their caregiver after 2 weeks of silence that they hate fags.
Yeah, and I think think you're understanding. I don't have a problem with that. There is absolutely people, like they say, like the left loves to say, America is a melting pot. Okay, if we're gonna go by that, then it's completely okay for someone to be bigoted. Okay, but when they're inciting violence or being violent to someone because for bigoted purposes, I guess, does that make sense?
Well, mixing pot would discourage bigotry.
A mixing pot would discourage bigotry.
Yeah. Because
you get a bunch of different cultures, smash them into one country, the only country in the world that's done this, and no one's going to be bigoted. All of our civil wars and all these things that's happened internally.
Like, the nature of a mixing pot you would think would guard against that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's like,
it's not.
You deal with these people.
I'm telling you, it hasn't. You look at our history, it has not worked, period. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Look at our history, it has not worked. So that's exactly what I'm saying, what you're saying. I'm saying what I'm saying, and what I'm saying what you're saying. I'm saying that because we're in a mixing pot, it's okay for people to be bigoted, but we have to learn to live by each other. Does it make sense? We just have to learn that they're still humans. You know what I mean? We have to learn to, okay, I can hate them, but I can't act upon that hate. You know what I mean? And this goes in, so this is what the modernists learned. This is what the Industrial Revolution, this is what we learned. This is what the West is great for. Like, some of the greatest things about humans is their ability to control their emotions. You know what I mean? This is a key thing about smart humans. You know what I mean? It's like, if we're going to throw that out, how is the society supposed to go on? You know what I mean? You can be bigoted, you can do that, but if you can't control your emotions to, you know what I mean? Then a society is never going to build. You're never going to teach someone the correct values, you know what I mean, for a society to continue on. So yeah, I think it's okay to be bigoted. I just think we need to start teaching people, like, better values, I guess. Because I think to say you don't like bigots is to be bigoted yourself, no? You know what I mean? This is okay now I'm going on a whole nother subject. I read this book. I have this book about ethics, and I was reading a couple of pages about it. So I think I'm gonna put it in my movie. He was just talking about should I be ethical? And the way he answered the question is, this one guy answered, is it rational to be rational? And to ask that question is, like, you cannot be a rational human without, you know what I mean? There is no rationality to be able to formulate a question like that. Does it make sense? You can't be rational.
What the fuck is that?
What?
A piece of meat fell on it.
It's gone.
Vanished from existence, yeah.
Listen. It's impossible to be... It's impossible to question... You can't say, is it rational to be rational without being rational. Does it make sense? Like, you have to be rational enough to formulate the question and to question, is it rational to be rational? Does it make sense? So now going back to what we were saying, what was the question that we asked? What was the last thing you were talking about?
Being a bigot is bigotry? Or hating bigots?
Oh, yeah.
Is
So
bigotry.
that's insane. So to answer the question is for the bigotry to exist. You can't be a bigot. You can't say you don't like bigots without being a bigot yourself, right? The question itself answers the question.
I mean, if we're getting all philosophical
No, no,
about
but
it.
but is that not true? You know what I mean? You can't be. You're trying to just have that, hold it like that in the paper. You know what I mean? You eat it like a fucking animal, or eat it above the table. Eat it above the table.
What am I, an idiot? Or what am I, smart? Oh, fuck.
What?
Nothing. If you didn't hear it, absolutely nothing.
I don't want to know.
Hmm?
I don't want to know, but yeah, back to the question. So yeah, you can't. To say I don't like bigots is to be bigoted itself. In itself.
Like, it's almost like psycho or philosophical jumble. Because when people say, like, I hate bigots, they don't necessarily mean, like, the textbook definition of a bigot.
No, but...
They're talking about people, they hate people who don't like other kinds of people.
Yes, but what if there's a culture like the KKK, for example, right? They're a culture of bigots, you know what I mean? They have their own type of culture, you know what I mean? Okay, yeah, fine, then fine. I'm kind of stretching to stretch the label of bigotry with KKK. Okay, and it's not. Just the definition of bigotry of someone hating another. You know, they say there's a group of people who just, they're all Mexicans and they all hate white people. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't hate them just for hating another person. If they act on that hate, I can hate them. Does it make sense? I can stop them and I can be like, no. But I can't hate someone for just hating another person. And if people hate Donald Trump, you know, I can't hate someone for not hating Donald Trump.
Was your mindset changed from when I first got here?
Why?
Because I remember I was talking about Ron, and I was talking about how, like, oh, he doesn't like interracial couples. He's like, oh, you didn't, like, do anything about it, or you'd say anything? I'm like, no. He's like, you're better than man than me, or something like that, implying that you'd be like...
I know, but I would, but I would question him. I would be like, have you ever, you know what I mean? My only thing is that, like, how could you not question him?
When you said it, like, at least the way I heard it, it implied,
I was probably
like,
joking,
malice.
but yeah, I could kind of get what you're saying. It seems like I was saying it as a joke. I don't know.
I love sleeping in this van.
What?
I don't know. I, like, open up the window and just, like, stare up at the skies while I smoke. I put my phone next to the thing there.
It's fucking 5 a.m.
Yeah, it's 5 a.m. I have just a whole area just to fucking spread out and, like...
Sorry.
Everything's so comfy. Everything I need is in right here, or my shoes are right there. And now it's private for everyone.
And it's small, like yeah.
Yeah.
We hit the hour mark. I'm gonna wrap up the podcast.
Alright.
Any last words? Anything last thing you want to talk about? All right. This is mildly fatigued. We've gone over some interesting topics today. When wrapping up, no last words?
California burritos are the best. The second I moved away from California, I missed them.
All right, that's it.
I even tried to make imitation California burritos
They didn't
in West
come out?
Virginia. Yeah, it was, my dad bought me those Philly cheesesteak, kind of things.
I don't know.
Like, do you know what a Philly cheesesteak
Yeah.
is? Like the meat in there?
Okay.
Yeah, he bought me that kind of meat.
Okay.
And, so I cooked fries. I put that in there. And then I just put the Philly cheesesteak meat in the tortilla.
Yeah, and wrap
Which was,
it.
it was too thick and it was cold. And then I put sour cream and just French fries. And then I just wrapped it all up and ate it. And it was not up to par.
Alright, well, that being said, wrapping the podcast. This is Mildly Fatigued with Adam and Caleb. Bye-bye. Say bye.
Goodbye.